Hey everybody, it is Connie with Gliding Through Blindness, and I am joined by a special guest today. This is like the most exciting interview I've ever done in my short YouTube career thus far. And I'm joined today by Audrey Cruz, and we will be telling you a lot more about her as the interview progresses. But I'll just give you a brief overview of how I got to know her. Um, so she is the first female Neuralink patient, and what are you? P what, Audrey?
Oh, P9.
9. Okay, awesome. And so, I heard about her on the Neuropod podcast, which Ryan Tanaka hosts, and I've been following Neuralink very closely for about a year and a half now, and I've done videos on Neuralink, and because I'm looking forward to having my own Neuralink one day and maybe being able to get some vision back and all that good stuff. So you guys can look up all those interviews or all those videos that I've done on this subject, but and also definitely you should look up Ryan's podcast too with Audrey, because that is definitely worth watching and listening to. Um, but because she just has such an inspiring story. The minute I finished listening to her interview, I just thought I'm gonna see if I can actually find her, because most of the people have like X accounts these days, or Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, but a lot of them aren't on Facebook. But lo and behold, she was actually there. I couldn't believe it, and so we just started messaging with each other, and the rest, as they say, is history. So welcome to my little channel, Audrey.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and she is just has been so awesome. We've been having technical difficulties and whatnot, and she's just been so patient and encouraging with me. So I'm sure it won't take you guys long at all to hear that in her, just how patient she is in her personality and all the things that she has gone through in her life. And I know you'll just all be as impressed as I have been. Um, And so this is only her second interview, so I'm just really honored that she agreed to come on my little channel. Um, and she says she wants to do more of these, and I think that's a great idea as she should do as many of these interviews as she can, because she's just a natural at it, like she's been doing it all her life, you would think.
Thank you.
So I think I'm just gonna turn it over to her for a few. She can just tell you a little bit how about her story, and then I will jump in whenever I feel appropriate.
Okay, that sounds great.
Awesome.
Okay, well, my name is Audrey Cruz. I'm 36, and at the age of 16, I was in a severe car accident that left me with a spinal cord injury at C4 and C5, which means I'm a quadriplegic. I can't move anything or feel anything below my collarbone. And yeah, it's been rough, and I've went through a lot of mental health issues and depression and things like that.
That's
Um,
one thing I really wanted to for the people to know too, that she's just very real, and just tells the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's what we all want to. I mean, we've all gone through stuff like that, and she's definitely no exception. And she um was only 16 in 2005 when the accident occurred, right, Audrey?
2005, yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, so technology was way different back then. Did you have a computer before the accident?
I had a home computer that we all used that I was familiar with, and
Mhm.
I was a freshman, so I was taking computer classes, but that does not compare to the technology that we have today at
No,
all. It's
it's
completely
completely different.
different. It's a really big learning curve, but I'm getting better each day. Derek, my caregiver, is helping me constantly. Poor him. I know he gets so frustrated because sometimes terms and things I just quite don't understand sometimes.
Like,
But yeah, it's
you've had a lot of catching up to do because, yeah, if you guys just all think back to 2005 and how much has changed since then, and she hasn't been able to do anything really like on the computer or anything until she got her Neuralink just a few months ago. So, but start at the beginning and tell us about well, you said you don't really remember anything about the accident, but you've seen pictures and of course people have told you what happened and all that, right?
yes. So Derek and I we were in high school, and I went to Sicily Island, and he went to Block. And he
That's
had
in
half a day.
Louisiana, right?
Yes, Louisiana.
Mhm.
And he was allowed to pick me up around twice a week. And this was a Wednesday, and he come to pick up me and my brother from school. And on our way home, we had a car accident, and Rocky, my brother, he passed away, and Derek were actually thrown out of the vehicle, and I was the only one left in the vehicle. Um, they transported us to a local hospital where they couldn't take care of us because we were both considered trauma injuries. So they sent us to another hospital where then they for sure diagnosed me with a spinal cord injury. And Derek had blood clots and air on the brain because he hit the pavement so hard. It was like a boiled egg had just dropped.
You
So
guys had only been dating for like how many months?
9 months.
Wow.
Yeah, 9 months. And I was constantly concerned about him and my brother. And at the time, they could not tell me about my brother passing away because I had to lay really still. And they didn't want me to have any movements of my head or neck or anything like that. So all that had to be kept a secret
Yeah.
for a little while.
Do you remember how long it was before they actually told you?
After his funeral, they told me because they
Okay.
told Derek first.
Hmm.
And then they told me, and I had to be immediately sedated because I didn't think it was true. Because I was actually seeing him in the hospital.
Weird. So you were like having visions or whatever of your brother.
Yeah, like he was visiting me. Yes.
Yeah. And he was only 12, correct?
12. He would have been 13 on the 23rd of April, and we had the accident on the 13th of April.
Oh, wow, that's sad. And so when they did finally tell you, do you remember, like, did you go into hysterics or anything?
Yeah, I completely,
I'm sure lost it. Yeah.
yeah, it was unimaginable. Like, I didn't think it was true. I thought they were
Mhm.
lying to me. Um, yeah, and then they sedated me, and then slowly having to come to terms with it. Um, it's been a challenge for
Yeah. And
sure.
when did they tell you about your own like that you had no use of your limbs and that it was permanent and you got pneumonia in there too. So what was that sequence of events?
Um, well, yeah, they put people who become paralyzed on tilt boards to
Mm.
regulate their blood pressure. Um, and when they put me on one, they didn't realize, but I got fluid
Oh,
on my lungs, and it caused me to have pneumonia. And then I ended up getting a trach because I couldn't breathe. And so I was trached
Oh,
for a few months. That was not fun. I couldn't speak, you know, no talking, no nothing. It's very hard to communicate with a trach. And then, I don't have the movements of my hands, so I can't write anything. So I literally had a board of rows of letters, and I would blink to the row, and then they would find the letter, and I would spell out whatever I was trying to say or need at that point in time.
wow. So just imagine how tedious that would be. It's that they would point at letters and like whenever they got to the right one, you would like blink your eyes, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was all you could do. So I'm sure you kept your communication to a bare minimum, just what was essential for you to try to communicate to the people like that you're thirsty or whatever, or what kind of messages would you say? Do you
But
remember?
yeah, yeah, you would think that. There was a couple of funny ones in there, especially because they wouldn't allow me to have anything to drink,
Oh,
because
right.
yeah, I had a feeding tube also.
Yeah.
So I would beg for the biggest ice cube. So
Oh,
there was so many little messages in there where I was like, I want the big one, just to keep my mouth from being dry. I asked a lot about my niece because she was 9 at the time. And then there's a message in there about if they can pluck my unibrow because I didn't like the way my eyebrows looked.
so you still have those messages? Like they saved them for you somehow?
No, I don't have them now, but I had them
Okay.
after the
Hmm.
hospital. When I got home, I was able to see all that.
Cool. Wow. So like all together, how long were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital from April 13th to the beginning of July of 2005.
Okay. And had they were they specialized in like quadriplegia or anything like that?
Um, no, not necessarily, because what they did is they shipped me to New Orleans Children's Hospital.
Okay.
And remember, it's 2005, so even the
Right.
technology, not just technology, the medical understanding of
Yeah.
people being quadriplegic was a lot different then too. They sent me there to try to get me off of the trach and see how my body was going to be normally, like how was I going to function. Um, And I told him, I said, I'm not going home with this Drake. I don't know why you're trying to teach me how to clean it, use it, and do all this. I'm not going home with it. And I didn't. I trained myself how to breathe on my own, learned how to talk with a trach, which is almost unable to be done, but I could do it. Um, and I got
You've
off the
just been stubborn ever from the very beginning. You've just had a will of your own, and I think that's why you've come as far as you have, because you just once you decide something, you just don't take no for an answer, basically.
Yes, I think Derek would agree with that, that I really don't take no for an answer. He said, absolutely, do I not take no for an
That's
answer.
funny.
Um, but yeah, and they tried to give me some therapy while I was there. It's just really difficult because I had lost all function
Hmm.
of everything, and I couldn't even hold my neck up because the muscles in my neck were just so sore and hurt from, being broke and then having surgery and things like that. But they kept telling me that if I could hold my head up for a whole minute, they would let me go home. And I remember that I did that. I strained for a whole 60 seconds to hold my neck up, and they were like, oh, well, you can't go home now. We were just doing that to encourage you. So I kept pushing the boundaries to the point where they told me that my whole entire life I would have a headrest to stabilize my head and my neck, and I do not. I do not use a headrest to stabilize or anything like that. I don't have to have it. So I made sure that I was going to have a nice, good, sturdy neck again. That way, you know, I messed it up the first time. Got to keep it good the second time.
Just wow, just think about something so that was such a challenge for you, but you overcame. And so then you lived with your mom, and then Derek eventually, I can't believe this, but he actually, when did he move in with you guys?
Yeah, he moved in. I was still in high school. You were 18.
Uh-huh.
It would have been like the close to the December.
Yeah, you were 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
19. Yeah, he may have been 19 at the time.
Hmm.
He moved in to help take care of me and just encourage me, be with me, be my companion. And we lived in my mom's house, and it was a bit of a struggle. She liked to keep control of me and control of my money and what I could and couldn't do. And I was just a kid, and being traumatized at such a young age, you don't know what to do and who to believe, who to listen to.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that was my guidance. And I don't harbor any ill will towards her. I think she was just trying to do the best she could under the circumstances um, that she was under. And it's okay. I'm over it. I'm a better person. You know, I've went through it. It's okay. And that's the best thing to do when you're in that type of situation is just to go head on with it and keep you some boundaries, stay to your boundaries and things like that. And that's why I ended up going to therapy for like 5 years to make sure I knew how to have a healthy brain and healthy mental status and establish boundaries. That way I wouldn't allow people to just walk all over me or take advantage of me in some way.
Hard enough. I mean, I'm sure we can all relate to some of that, like where family sometimes they mean well or whatever, and especially like me being disabled too, I can relate to a lot of that where sometimes you become like over protective or over bearing and you don't really like you're kind of dependent on them in a way. So, and especially you being a minor at the time, you didn't really have a whole lot of say. So, yeah, I'm sure that was a really stressful situation.
Yeah, it very much was because even as I became an adult, I didn't feel like I mean, I felt like an adult, but I didn't have the say of
Yeah,
an
you weren't
adult.
treated like one, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, but then Derek, though, he was just a teenager as well, but he made the decision at that young age that he wanted to help take care of you, and he's been doing that to this day. I think that's just so awesome.
Yeah, he worked in the oil field for a little while to make money, and when he got out of the oil field, he did some odd jobs around here, but he I ended up getting really, really bad depression. And he was working in a local town, Natchez, which is in Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I was being, home a lot by myself. I didn't have anybody else to help take care of me. And I ended up getting a stage 4 bed sore, which means it is a wound that goes all the way to the bone. And yes, not only was it to the bone, I also ended up contracting MRSA and having to do 2 rounds of IV antibiotics.
Man, like you really need on top of what you already have to deal with. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So he quit his job
Mm-hmm.
and became my full-time caretaker to get me healed. And I'm completely healed today. I was healed for when I did my Neuralink surgery because I had to be healthy. All that's good. No sore, no nothing, no MRSA. no osteomyelitis or anything like that. So we came away really, really lucky. And it's because I had great care, not only just from Derek, but my wound care people were absolutely amazing in taking care of me.
So, so tell us then, so just a few months ago, you heard about Neuralink for the first time. Tell us that story.
Yeah, I was watching TV and Will Reeve came on, which is my favorite.
Mhm.
Me being paralyzed, I completely support the Christopher Reeve Foundation, and I love it. And so anything to do with Will Reeve, I'm definitely watching it. And he did an interview with the first patient, Nolan. And as I was watching it, I just thought, oh, how cool would that be to, be able to do something like that. I'm happy for him. I'm glad, someone similar to me is getting this wonderful chance at something different, becoming something. And I remember telling Derek about it, and it kind of fluttered away. And then one night when we were watching TV, a little pop up of Nolan showed up. And I told Derek, I was like, look, this is the guy I was telling you about that's got the implant that can control a computer, which made him get interested in it even more. And so he started looking it up, and we were reading about it, and they had a application to fill out. Um, Read the requirements and did all that, filled it out on a Friday. Monday was a holiday. Tuesday, my phone was ringing, and it was Neuralink. They were very interested in me. They had been looking for a female patient, and wanted to know how interested and how dedicated that I would be to doing this. And I was said I'd be very dedicated and interested into doing this. Um, they got
Just
me
have to
on
leave that. I mean, you would think that waiting list would have been miles long, and you, and if it wasn't have been for a holiday and a weekend, you probably would have even heard from them sooner.
probably, and
Crazy.
it just happened. And I mean, as soon as I told them that I would do anything to get down there,
Mhm.
um, they were really, really supportive in that. Uh, I told my family, my niece and a few friends, what I was doing because I wanted their opinion to make sure that I was making the right decision, to make
Yep.
sure that they didn't feel uneasy or, worried. Well,
Right.
they were worried, but my niece literally gave me her credit card, and she was like, Aunt Audie, I need you to just go get it
Aw.
done. Don't worry about it. So we drove 17 hours to Miami, to do the screening. And when I got there, it was crazy because there's so much that you really do have to do and go through for the screening and things like that. And while I was there, that Thursday was the day Derek and I met, was July 11th. And I got the call that I was gonna I was approved for the implant. And then the next question was, can you stay here in Miami so we can do your surgery on the 19th? And of course, me not hesitating, because I felt like this was something I was supposed to do, um, jumped headfirst right in, like always, and was very excited about it and had no worries. I wasn't scared. The people around me made me comfortable. That was my experience. I made sure that I knew all the information that I could pack in my brain. I asked any question, which they answered anything. They were very, very helpful in making sure that I knew what I was getting into, and that, it's a process.
I've heard that too from other interviews that they're just very honest with you, and it's all this brain computer interface technology or the BCI is all, I mean, they're learning as much as the patients are. It's just all new experimentation for everybody. So some of the risks are like unknown, like they can't guarantee any results or even guarantee anything really about it. So yeah, you really had to be brave to do that, but the way you looked at it, just like, well, what's the worst that could happen? Like I might as well just do it because it might really be a good thing, I suppose. Was that kind of how your attitude?
Absolutely. I thought, why not me? Why couldn't I be somebody that would be able to work a computer and deserve something like that?
Hmm.
And and that's just the whole way I thought about it, was that I could, and why not? I had nothing to lose. It's been 20 years. Let's do something different. And so
Yep.
I did definitely do something different. And I wouldn't, I would do it all over again. This has given me independence and freedom and creativity, that where I can express myself, and it really does help with the depression and things like that.
And when you were there, P8, his name is Nick, correct?
Yeah, P8, he's my implant twin. We stay in contact all the time. He's my bestie.
Mhm.
We had surgery on the same day. He went first. He has ALS. Um, and I was a little bit worried about him, but as soon as he came out, I was fine. They put him in his room and I was ready. They wheeled me back in the OR, and I was like, let's do it. Let's go. And then 5 short hours later for me, I woke up and yeah, I had an implant and had to figure out how to learn how to use it.
Yeah. Wow, and that was the first time that Neuralink had done two surgeries in one day, correct?
Yes, it was the first time they had ever done that, and it was very long and very
Mm,
tiring. And um, the doctors did a great job, in my opinion. But I think it was much, especially with just the whole day. I mean, it
yeah,
was a whole day of just me waiting and then surgery. So, I mean,
yep.
and they were in surgery the whole time. It was, yeah, a little bit. I praise them though.
I know that would be something, and but yeah, even though it was a long day for them, when you really consider a major like brain surgery like that, but yet it only took 5 hours, and then how long were you in the hospital after that?
A whole day. Um,
Okay,
they they come in there and they checked everything, made sure what kind of pain level was I in, all the good stuff. And I was fine. The most aggravating thing is the stitches, because they were in my head and they kind of pulled, especially when you
yeah,
made facial expressions and things like that. Um, I can't say that everybody else didn't experience worse pain, but that was just for me. They came in, checked in, everything was good. Uh, got me up in my wheelchair to make sure, my blood pressure was stabilized and all that. And by 7 o'clock that afternoon, they said you can go back to the hotel. And matter of fact, Derek just pushed me back to the hotel because it was in walking distance. And my head was all wrapped up and everything. And there we went to the hotel and got in the bed and crashed, and yeah, just rested.
yeah. If Derek is available, does he mind answering a couple of questions at this point in the story?
You want to answer the question? All right,
Yeah.
okay. One second.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just was curious from his perspective, like, can you hear me, Derek, or should I wait another minute or so?
He can hear you. He's coming.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be
Um,
in picture, but I'll be beside.
okay, yeah, you sound great, so that's the main thing, but I was wondering, like, did they keep you informed, like, how the surgery was going, or, anything like what did all did they tell you as the caregiver and things like that
Yeah. So the well, so we went through the interview process
before?
together. Like, so while she was getting her interview, I
Uh-huh.
was almost getting my own interview.
Okay.
Like the staff was talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, wanting to know more about our relationship, wanting to know more about us,
Yep.
um, the things that I take care of for
Yep.
her. How am I going to be there for her after this? Because this is a two-person kind of deal. She's
Yeah.
got to have somebody here that is going to be able to help her uh, turn the computer on,
Mm-hmm.
hook up the charger, uh, be able to notice if her body is going through a different change,
Yep.
or if there's something that I see that's not quite right, to where I can speak up and say, hey, look, I don't think this is right. Something's going on. We need to get it checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the staff in Miami are amazing. I have to say that.
Amazing.
Uh, Everyone there makes you feel like it's home. Like when you walk in, you don't see people with disabilities. You see people as they are, and they do
It's
too.
people. Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
people.
People.
That's it. You're completely neutral when you're there. Everyone's a person. Everyone's has their feelings and is validated. And
That's,
the staff there is so understanding, and it's it is laughable because Louisiana, you don't see that. You don't
yeah.
see the staff that cares like they do in Miami.
Yeah, they don't have the training and they don't get to see the patients with these kind of disabilities as much, so I guess they're not as
Exactly.
experienced. Yeah,
Exactly. Like when you have people that are around you that are experienced, it makes the world a difference. Like
It
it
really
just,
does.
you can't describe how it makes you feel, because it's just like going home. Like you're just walking into a building, everyone sees you, everyone talks to you, they ask you, do you need any help? Can we tell you which way to go? Can we help you get to there? I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
it's amazing. It's amazing how the staff treats you.
Yeah, that makes a world of difference. So is the whole hospital like dedicated to Neuralink, or how many of the Neuralink staff were there? Or
Oh, now they have a Neuralink team,
okay,
uh, the neurosurgeons, which we have a few of the neurosurgeons as part of the team, and then they have other people that are in the hospital that are aware. But as far as like the whole hospital knowing that you're with no,
okay,
so
they didn't even know
it's
that.
not like
Wow,
you're getting special privilege just
yeah,
because of who you are. You're getting the privilege that everybody else would get.
everybody.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
that's the
That's
amazing part,
amazing.
is even the the nurses in the OR were the sweetest.
Yes, they were.
They wanted to take care of me. They wanted to take care of Audrey. Uh, I mean, they were just, like I said, they were part of your family. Like
Yeah.
when we left Miami, it's almost like we're leaving a part of us there
Yeah.
every time we leave.
Mhm.
But
Wait, it
it's
sounds
just,
like
yeah, it's like
yeah,
your new family. You have a new family down in Miami. That's where we go for the checkups, and that's they're part of us now. They really are.
Yeah, they really are.
That's so appreciate you contributing a little bit to the story, Derek.
Yeah,
And
in the
so,
process, I want to tell you the process. It is. Audrey went through her screening,
uh-huh.
and I went through mine at the same time, and they didn't leave anything out. We went over everything that needed to be done. I knew what my responsibilities were going to be, and I knew that I was going to be able to take care of that.
Oh, that's good. So do you still meet with the Neuralink, you guys? How often do you meet with the Neuralink team?
Well, we have them on basically, I can call them whenever.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I have them
yeah.
available at the moment. But usually,
Like the team in Miami, we get to see every 3 months now.
yeah, because I just came back from a 3-month
Yeah.
post-op. So we see
Yeah.
them every 3 months, but I can contact whoever I need to contact
Oh yeah.
immediately.
We have
No,
we
no
have
questions
we have
asked.
everyone's phone number. We have their personal phone number. It goes straight to them if we ever need anything. All we
No
have to
waiting
do.
around. Wow,
No
That's right.
waiting around.
I'm just so impressed with the whole process. Like they think of everything and they just make sure that not only the patient but the caregivers are just well taken care of and treat
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone just like your royalty almost, it seems like.
it
That's what
really
it felt
does.
like.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. So then they showed the Neuralink team then, was it after you got home that they started showing you how to work with your BCI, or was it while you were still in Miami?
While I was still there in Miami,
Okay.
for 3 days, they had somebody fly in
Mm-hmm.
and they brought me a laptop and they turned it on and they said, okay, here it is. And they turned the cursor on and I was able to move it with, I don't want
Wow.
to say ease because it's not easy,
Right.
but I was able to do it. And
In that
today,
first sitting, basically.
yes, it was
Crazy.
hours long because we have to do so much
Mm-hmm.
to get the cursor to align right with the body and things like that.
Yeah, like to calibrate it. So how it works, I think I might have mentioned this briefly on other videos, but to my understanding, like you can still picture all of your limbs and moving them and everything. Your brain is still wired such that like it thinks your everything is in working order, even though it isn't. But if you imagine like moving your hand or moving your finger or your arm or whatever, and then that's basically how you can move the mouse
Yeah,
around and click on things. Is that kind of right in the ballpark?
absolutely. I think of it as holding my hand kind of like on a mouse computer,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm familiar with. And that's kind of like how I move my wrist, and clicking is just like, I go to click my thumb or index finger and things like that. Yeah, it's weird and strange and magical because, mind and body, I mean, it's just really two different things like that, just able to control it with your mind, and it's it's crazy.
But and yeah, you were saying before, like some of the weird before people be then when they don't know really what it's like, they kind of have all these ideas what they think it's like, and you kind of have to be patient with their misconceptions or tell them no, that's not really the way it is. But yeah, I just think it's cool how much you can already do and what you there's just no end to the potential. Like Nick, the guy that had surgery right before you, recently there was a video of him manipulating a robotic like arm to feed himself.
Yes, it's
Yes,
amazing. Yeah,
it
they're
is.
doing great work with Nick, and helping him out and stuff, and especially with the ALS patients. We all know
Mhm.
that, their lifespan may be not as long
Mhm.
time. And so I hope they get the attention that they need, and
Yeah.
are able to get as much out of the study as possible with our ALS patients, because we need that important study from them. And I'm all right right now. I'm not going anywhere,
Mhm.
so I can wait a little bit on the robotic arm if I need to.
Wow, that's a great attitude you have there. So, um, tell us about your drawing and what that does for you, and how did you even discover you could do that?
Well, when they hooked me up to the laptop, they were like, "What's the first thing you want to do? What's the first thing you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to write my name. Haven't wrote my name in
Hey.
20 years. Let's try it." Derek downloaded a little whiteboard on the laptop, and I wrote my signature, and it was legible, and I was surprised. So after that, I just started practicing and practicing and practicing. And now it's almost like ignited a whole nother creative side of me, because it's, as I'm using it, I'm getting better. So my art's getting better. Like at first it was just kind of like lines and shapes and small stuff. Now I'm drawing, like I was able to do a really pretty flower the other day, and it looked great, and I was very impressed with myself, and thinking that only, 3 months ago I could barely write my name, and now here I am drawing actual beautiful pictures that make me feel great, and people are loving them. And hopefully soon the website will be up so that people will be able to buy my art, and yeah, completely support me that way.
Yeah. And so, like, in this creativity just gives you a whole nother outlet for expressing yourself too that you didn't really have before. You were just kind of stuck in your own body, but now you have a way to like show people what you're thinking and feeling, and you can share your talents with others too, and I'm sure that's an encouragement to others even with disabilities.
Yes, I hope so.
Um yeah, and like you were saying, even with your website, you're that you're thinking about like letting other Neuralink patients put their um things on your website too, possibly someday.
Yes, absolutely. If they're wanting to, I know
Mhm.
that Brad P3, he wrote a book.
Yep.
Um, I encourage people to go check that out too. And if he ever wanted to put it on my site, I would do that. Nick used to do drumming and makes music. I would love for him to make a piece and put it on my website.
Yeah.
Or even if they just wrote a poem, or maybe it's just the stick man that they drew. But yeah, I want everyone included with a BCI, and the ones that are to come also, because they're also going to need someone to show them the way, and give them a helping hand too. So yeah, it's for us and the future BCI patients to come.
That is very cool. So, mm, tell people how they can get in touch with you, like on X and whatnot.
Yeah, right now on X, NeuroNova9,
Mhm.
um, and I have Facebook, but mostly I do Twitter with my art and things like that. And my website should be coming up very, very soon. I got a um, web designer to help me out. Me and Derek were doing it, and we realized it was a little too much. So we had to hire somebody to help us out. So hopefully within the next few weeks, that will be up and running. and that will be neuroartstudio.com. And hopefully people will get on there and love my art and buy it, and yeah, and just keep this train going.
So it's a way that you can contribute to, and people can help you out, and it's Neuro, correct?
Neura.
Hey, okay, Neura. I'm glad I asked you. Neura
Yeah,
Nova.
yeah,
Okay, very
Neuro.
cool. Yeah, so I just appreciate so much getting the opportunity to talk to you. And
Thank
in
you.
closing, I guess, what would you say to anyone out there that is kind of thinking about maybe contacting Neuralink or applying, or if maybe they're a little nervous or something? Do you have any words of wisdom to share with them?
Yes, I absolutely do. First thing, do your research.
Hmm.
Know what you're going to get yourself into. Um, Go to the registry and apply if you think you can do it. It is similar to a job.
Hmm.
There's hours in the day where there's things that you have to do. And if you are interested and you think you can do it, I encourage people to apply, because the more we can do, the better information we're going to have on future BCIs. And it could be to the point to where we could have multiple BCIs, to where a person that was blind, deaf, and can't move would still be able to communicate. Like, that's the future. And we need more people to sign up for that. That way we have different brains and just so much more information. So yeah, if you think you can be a Neuralink patient, uh, do it. Get your info. Go to the application, apply, and be brave, because we need the people out there to get this further along.
Very good. And that sounds like great advice and a great way to end this interview. And Audrey has also graciously said that I can keep in touch with her. I mean, we just feel like we're friends and have known each other a long time already. And she said I can do like follow-up interviews and just keep in touch with her progress and whatnot. So I will definitely be doing that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Anytime you want to reach
that's
out, I'm
cool.
here. I have nothing else to do but play on my computer. So yeah.
There you go. That's so great. So I'm sure you guys, I would really encourage you to share this video far and wide, because this is just a story that needs to be told. I don't think Neuralink does nearly a good enough job of promoting themselves, and there's a lot of, like, of course, rumors and whatnot, and but people, you guys can see and hear for yourself Audrey's story and how kind they all are, and how it's just basically so well, not easy really, because like you said, it's hard work, but yet it's like they took her right away, the screening process. They just help you every step along the way. And I hope you guys will all just learn more, whether or not you're going to be a patient or maybe just interested in, just follow the company and tell other people, because this could just really have massive impacts for humankind, really. And so be sure to like this video, because that helps more people to see it. Be sure to comment and give us your feedback. We would love to hear your comments. And thanks to Audrey and Derek for being on the podcast.
Oh my God. Thank you, Connie. It was so great talking to you.
Awesome.